Hi guys, I hope you're good since last video. So in this video we're gonna see Mesop, the Google Python-based UI framework that we're gonna use. It might replace Streamlit or Gradio, but I'm gonna show you the architecture first to show you just how it is easier to handle the state management of the application. So before diving into the app code or the demonstration, we can see that at the beginning I always like to write the plan. Like if I was talking or brainstorming with someone. So the application build plan here, we create a web UI component with the sidebar, with the chat interface. We create the backend code with the chat manager. So this is an extensive description. We will be focusing more into the chat with an LLM side and having agent producing some work when the user wants to tweet or when the user wants to make a report. So here, for example, we use an agent team with tools. We just plan that. Search tool, report outline, report writing, social media post. We use the state, last message. So the last message in the chat will be our context to make those reports or those tweets. So I'm just going to make some screenshots. So the screenshots, I'm going to put them on the community side of YouTube. So here, if you want to put yourself into a kind of scenario, just say that you are talking with an LLM, any LLM, and you want to fact check, for example, or find the answer interesting and you want to tweet that ID. So that's what we are building here. This is the web UI. Having those chat conversations, the user, sender, and user is going to choose the action. If you want to post to social media, or if you want to make a report about it. For Twitter, we will need the API keys, so there will be a little form on the side. And we have the backend here with the different agent team working on those tasks. So in terms of LLM here, you have paid LLM, free LLMs, quick LLMs. We're gonna just use Grok here, just to make it easy. And also it's free and it's pretty quick. But just here you can see all the different options that you can have for the LLM. Alright, so we got this architecture. We can maybe make a screenshot of it. I'm going to also draw here on the side just a little diagram just to explain you about the states, how nice and easy it is to manage. Let me grab this one for the YouTube community. Okay, so I'm just going to take another one because this one is not good. Okay, this is better. We got it. So let's here quickly draw the Google Mesop states. So how does it work? So let's say you have different states, custom ones, and for the agent, for the pop-up, for the sub-processes, the messages, the state, to say booleans, true or false. You have the application down there. It's going to be setting those variables, saving them into the state. And another part of the application is going to getting those variables and updating those variables or clearing those or initializing, putting it back at the initial state. So agent, for example, can be tweet, report, RAG, which kind of agent you're using, the pop-up, is it closed, is it hidden, sub-processes, the logs, the messages, warning, validate, info message, user message, agent message, and the state, true or false for here. Here, for example, I put the token, is the token saved or not, true or false, is the user message present or not, is the agent job done. So this one I need it just to know if the agent is done, because I got some issues with one package, which is the Agentic package, having different versions from the one that Mesop is using and the other one that I'm using with the agent team. So I had to use another Python virtual environment that is going to be running as a sub-process. So after, you just keep adding some states if you need to. I found it better just to separate everything for clarity, but you can also put all in one state if you want to. So in the other side, you have the app UI, so the front end, and you see those different states help also to update those components in the web UI. So is it present or not, updated or not, and the web UI is going to be responding. Just going to make one last screenshot here and show you the Google Mesop frontend. Just a quick review to understand how those states are going to be updating the frontend. So here, for example, the first decorator is observed. This is the long fuse, but me.page is the decorator showing which path we're using. So you can have several pages in your application. This is an example of an uploader using a file state to upload a file, a PDF or an image. And after, it's going to be checking if the file state contents is true or false, and depending on that, it's going to be showing some different information on the web UI. And everything is wrapped in boxes, and you can put some styling, some CSS styling in it, which I found very convenient. And here I have some helper functions on the side, PDF to Markdown, handle the upload, and we're using different states for that. I mean different variables in the state. So in this application that I'm going to show you the part which is more the chat part, which is this part here. So here the chat path, as you can see written, and the title you can change it. I'm going to just put Creditizens, demo app maybe, and those are the different states I'll be using. The patch, the form, the pop-up state, the agent, and the report. Everything is going to be wrapped in a box, in a styling box. It's going to be using the display flex. And the side nav now will be wrapped in all of these parts of the code, having the download the report option, the button for the internet search report, the social media post, tweets, and we're using functions. So here I'm using a lambda function, but if you use JavaScript, you're already seeing this on click. And after you put your function, put the state and the event. And here, and I have another state just to show if the tweet button is disabled or not. It's a Boolean state, true or false. Agent state report. So if it is the report agent working, at this time we have another part of the code. You can pause the video just to check the details, but here I'm just going to go over the code very quickly. And you're going to use those boxes. Every box represents web UI components. Just to show some parts hide some of the parts, depending on some conditionals that you can put in different functions. Okay. So I'll be using some pop-ups, some ugly pop-ups, but still, and I'd give them a Z index of 1000, just to be leading the front end, to be in front. And after we have some other functions to close the pop-up and to reset the states also. This is for the agent, if the pop-up is visible. Here we'll try to get the agent output, but to the front end. We're going to use a system that is just going to be reading an intermediary file. So the agents are running in another process, a sub-process, which is using another Python environment with some other packages to not conflict with the Mesop Agentic library that I have. And after here, we just pass the messages. We put them in a state, and after we just pass those, giving them different colors, just to be able to read the agent output. And I use a button for that, just to refresh it, because I'm clearing the state when there's too many messages. And so the same for the tweet agent, and I use the same system for the report agent. For Twitter, so here is not an application which is going to be spamming Twitter with tweets. So the user needs to authorize the application to actually post the tweets using a PIN number. So there's a lot of back and forth going on here. You will see how it is. And after here we get an URL that I'm saving into the pop-up state URL. I'm just fixing this because the markdown is not getting those HTML markups, HTML tags. So I just make it simple like that. But you will see that the pop-up later on is going to be showing those A tags. Just fix it now as I'm in the code, otherwise I'm going to forget. And the input type, same as what you know in HTML. You put the type in the form as a password, so it's hidden and we don't see it. And I have also implemented some encryption functions just to encrypt it when I save it into the state. But I'll be using an intermediary environment variable file, so a secret file that is going to be updated. And after here we get the chat. This is the chat. This is the function handling the chat. And in Mesop you use yield to output the messages as the function is reading the loop. So you need a loop for that. And after you just use yield to get those values here. For example, each lines being shown into the web interface. So as you can see here, I'm using rock, and after I'm saving this message into the state. So in a different way, I save just the raw message, it's the tweet state, and I format it for the rest. So after this front-end code review, Now we're going to go up there and see the details of the code. After that, we're going to try to have a little break. After, we're going to start into the demo. So we have different imports. Mesop has me. So whenever you see ME or MEL, this one is Mesop Labs. Okay, we're using also the .env library to set the variables and also to load the environment variables, encryption, Langfuse, all the LLMs imports, sub-processes, and threading, and using so Mesop is using Flask under the hood, and we also use Flask here for the sub-process to keep the context of the app. We load the environment variables, so I have one dynamic, it's going to be changing, which I can override, while this one, the .env one, is the one having all the secrets and it's not going to be overwritten. So we initialize Langfuse, we initialize also all those LLMs. So this, just I put it like that because sometimes I swap and I want to use some other ones. And here we got the state part, which is interesting. So the classes, you just name your class, you put the variables, and you give the hint about what the type of variables it is. You can also initialize the variable by giving it a value. Here, for example, I say it's true. So the report state, and then all the reports workflow, tweet state, tweet messages, agent state, and here the pop-up one, same handling the web UI, modification, how it changes, and here we have also some dictionaries that I'm using. My intermediary dictionaries before setting those states, or before creating the variables into the intermediary dynamic env file, which is going to be used by the agents in the sub-process as the verification code for Twitter. It's a dictionary that I'm going to use to store it. And after some different, you can also save your styles into variables, which is nice. It's just to show that you can do that. Side nav, the width will be 350, for example. Here I just put some variables that I initialize here. Max character position. This is when I have 10,000 characters, I'm just going to clear a file that I'm using to write the agent logs. So here, maybe I'm going to get rid of all those yields. It's a bit too much. So whenever you use something new like that, like Mesop, you need to try. So I never used yield before, but now I understand how to use it. I mean, a little bit, but it's fine. So yield is going to be updating all those states. Initiate the download. So this is a function just to download the reports at the end. So it's a bit tricky here because you have to go into the library, the Mesop library, into the virtual environment, find the location where you can put those files that you want to download. This is the cryptographic one, just to encrypt the keys. We get the agent tweet to be posted. This is the authorization. So here you will need the consumer key and the secret from your Twitter application that you have created. And after this, the whole logic of changing the states using Langfuse to trace it After, when we close the tweet verification pop-up, we initialize some states. We're going to delete some environment variables. And after here we have the pin verification. Those are helper functions that are used by bigger ones. We verify the post. So you see there's several functions to handle the Twitter post. Authorization. This is the one which is very important, read agent file. So that's the one which is going to be reading the intermediary file. So agents are running on another process which is parallel to the application, and it's going to be writing to a file, and the application is going to be reading that file whenever I press the refresh button on the web UI. After, at one moment, if there's too many characters in the states, it's going to be clearing the state and clearing the file also, waiting for new messages to come. So we say if the agent is a report agent, or if the agent is a tweet agent, just to determine that, and we're going to get the logs in function of that. So I don't need this anymore. Okay, let's get rid of this. We can clear the tokens also. Some different functions that you're going to see here are helper functions. Just put a space here to get the environment variables from .env, to create dynamic environment variables. And here another function here. So we're using the dynamic env to have those environment variables used by the agents, so that they have their input variables. We show the agent pop-up, we check if there's the keys, if there's a message, if there's a chat message. That's the requirement before doing any tweet. We have some pop-ups to validate and some other ones to show error messages. So same here for the report one, but here we just need to have a chat message. That's the only requirement before being able to activate those agents. And here, that's whenever we close the pop-ups, we just reset everything back to the initial state. So get all those variables and we set them back to what they were at the beginning. So those are the styles that you can see are put in a variable. And when you put them in a variable, you can use them dynamically to show different, for example here the error one is going to be showing the color red. Error is red. And validated is going to be green. So some helper function here to handle the pop-ups, to handle how to here, for example, run the agent. And that's where we actually use the subprocesses. We get all the states. Agent start button disabled. Internet search button disabled. Just disable some buttons, and the refresh button, we show it is visible. Use a little yield just to update that. We send to the agent the input variables. So that's why we set here in the dynamic env. That's where the agent is going to take the information from, and to know if it is also report agent or tweet agent, which is going to be has to perform some job. Pop-up state agent work done. So the agent work is not done. We set it to false. Whenever it's done, it's going to be fetched on the environment variables. We use the app.app context from Flask, and we put the command to start the environment. So the Python environment for the agent, and the scripts using the Python binary, which is in the environment. So in this thread is going to call, we're going to start the thread calling the run agent process, which is here, run agent process. We stay in the app context. Okay. And after here, agent work done, we still say if it is false, we can start the process. So this is the sub-process, the command. And we will be able to get here with the communicate method, the standard output and standard error, that I'm just going to be logging to a file. And after that, if the agent work is done, we just terminate the process. So this is going to run, and it will be almost the same for the other agent. View agent output, and that's the one which is going to be reading here, read agent file, the intermediary file with a maximum character position, just to clear everything. Otherwise you get an error when there's too many messages in the state. After those are the forms when we save the keys. So here I'm using the front end, but normally this you can put it just in the back end. You don't need the form in front, because this is the developer keys that we need for that, not the user. User is going to just validate through the web UI. Okay, so you had a little overview now of the code. In the Mesop app, this is the agent side of the code. So when the agent is called, the script is going to start here. We're going to load all those environment variables that you have set in the Mesop side. I'm just here logging it into a file. And after we start the main function, which is agent team job. And when the agent team job is done, we're going to set the agent work to true, which is going to change the web UI on the other side. We're going to refresh the pop-up. So let's see this function. I'm just treating some different conditions here to restart the agent work. For example, if the report is empty, if there's an error, so it's going to just restart the job. First we check if it is a tweet agent or report agent, and after we start the job with the kickoff function. And we're going to feed that function with the inputs, the different variables for that. So if there's an error limit, this happens a lot, we're just going to restart the job. So let's go from here. We have to check which agent it is. Depending on the agent, the topic is going to change. So the topic, I have saved it into the environment variables. It's just telling the agent what we need to do. And we have here those input variables also, just going to be which are going to be given to the agents, so they can feed the different prompts. So here we start the tweet agent team, the crew. So it's using crew AI under the hood, sequential processes to have more control on it. And here the report one, kickoff, and here we put all those input variables that we have fetched. Same for the report agent. Input report agents. So this file, all those little imports, Agentic, Langfuse, the LLMs, you already know those, the Longchain tools, because we're going to build some custom tools, the query agents, and the subprocess, multiprocess. I just put everything because I've been changing, I've been using Redis, I've been using different techniques, and I just went to the simple one, which is the best. Here, the chat response, those ones I've showed you. And here, this one is the meat, the very important function, custom log callback handler, which is going to be actually the one that is going to be transmitting those agent output to the Mesop app via the intermediary file. So different methods in it on agent step. So on each step, each task will be trying to get what's the agent step output it is. So here we check if it is in action, in observation, and in function of that we're gonna be just getting the action, the tool input, the logs, and the agent sort. So the different communication between the agent and the tools. All those reports. So here I'm trying to fetch it from here. There's a lot of improvement to do in this, but I got kind of MVP working, so that's fine. Here in the Mesop one, the Mesop side, where was it? Here. You see I try to pass it here to get action input, tools, log, observation. So that's how I can give them different colors into the web UI. And those curly braces, I don't know, I couldn't get rid of it. So I just put it white so you won't be able to see it on the web UI because I didn't handle it here in this function. I'm gonna write everything in agent output.log file. That's the one that is gonna be read in the Mesop side. Instantiate this class to be used as a callback into the LLMs. You see, you can put it also here in the LLM callbacks, and you put the function, and you can put it in the task also. So create tweet from last message. So this is a function which is going to be called to create the tweet using grok x12.7b, and it's going to be saving this into a file. We have an internet search tool using DuckDuckGo. After here we so create last message from tweet. I just want to show you where it is called. It's called here. Try. You see, create tweet tool. So there's a tool which is going to be creating a tweet. And that's the one which is here. Set those variables. Little class. Have the description of it. And after here we call the function to create the tweet, and here we instantiate the tool using Longchain. So tweet check tool. So this is just a tool which is going to check that the tweet it's not too long, otherwise we're going to get an error when we're going to post it. So I put 210 characters, but I think tweet is 280. Yeah, I just put this number 210. It has to respect. It has to be on the dot. Tweet length if greater than 210. Make another tweet. check the file output. That's another one. That's for the report, basically. Or for any file, actually. But I'm using it for the report. Because iteration limit, errors, or rate limit is going to be written to the output if the task doesn't finish. So that's the issue. So you need to check that and to make the LLM, the agent restart his task if there is any issue. After here we have another one, is a reading file tool that I had to create just to read the file. And it's going to return what is in the file. I should change the output to be report text. Yes. So that's what we want here, report text. Okay, so we are done with this. This is just all the different ways that you can create a tool, reading file, writing file, and so on. And after the agent, we have a tweet creator, one which is going to be creating the tweet checker, and you see there's a step callback. This is the last variable. Read outline, report creator, agent report checker. There's more agents than what I'm using, because I don't want to wait, I don't know how long to get something done. I just want to demonstrate Mesop, and that you can use agent with it, and you can make it fun as what we're doing here. So same for the tasks with file output, and after you put just 2 agents per different workflow. And I use different LLMs. This is just a trick to not get those rate limits coming too often. So it's pretty smooth like that, using different LLMs. I tried the OpenAI one, but here I'm just going to use Croc. Let's have a little break. You are waiting for that. It's time to like and subscribe for you. So we've seen the architecture, we've seen the code in details, the dev app consumer keys. So you need to go into the developer portal of X and generate those keys. Alright, so you copy those keys and you put this in your environment variable. Let's fix all those errors. Create the virtual environment. So here I'm just showing you one virtual environment, Python 3 and Mesop, but you need to create another one for the agents. So here you just install Mesop in one side, and in the other side you're going to install your CrewAI. But the CrewAI Pydantic version and the Mesop Pydantic versions are too different, so much different. The gap is so huge that you can't have them in the same virtual environment. So you will need a sub-process, a parallel process to run those agents. Instead of having 2 servers, you can have just a sub-process running for the time of the agent job and stopping when it's done. That's what I'm doing here. And to launch the app, you do Mesop space and you put the name of the file where all the application is, all the application code is. And here you can just see get some more information. I think the flag helpful. Let's start the app just to see the front end. It's going to be running on localhost 32123 or 32123. So this is the URL here. Hello world, that's nice. It works. Have another break, because I know that you didn't have time to like and subscribe just before. Do it now. We're going into the last marathon. Agent to post tweet. This is the first demonstration. We have long fuse ready. Just gonna reset everything. Okay, this is clean. Here we're gonna chat with the LLM and ask just a question. Will blockchain dominate now that people start authenticate products, services, and objects using NFTs? Okay, let's check that. I got the answer pretty quick. I put the keys. Okay, we got the keys. You can start now the agents. Tweet agents. We start the tweet agent team. We refresh. We get the output of the agents coming with these little colors. It's not the prettiest pop-up in the world, but you can see that it works. And what is interesting is here is long fuse having those traces. This is the chat at the beginning. And you can see the workflow of different functions being called. And here the different spanning function also. So at the beginning, this is the state. And you see how the state becomes bigger and bigger. It writes to it. That's why you need to clear it time to time. Otherwise you will get an error. So here I keep refreshing. This is what happens at the back when your states are too heavy. So I put 10,000 characters. Every 10,000 characters is going to be emptying the state. Okay, this is updated. I'll just go quickly over it. You can see here you have the tasks, the observations, the topics. You will see some errors because sometimes the agent just goes into a loop. But here we don't see that loop. That's fine for the moment. Okay, the agents are working. You see there's a lot of output. Just gonna press it again. So create tweet tool. Here you see we arrive at 10,000 characters, so the state has been emptied. See here we have empty brackets. Agent work done is false, so the agent work done is not it's not yet done with this work. So we're gonna wait and refresh and see if there's anything coming. We check the terminal, still nothing. Long fuse. So here in long fuse we can see there's a lot of errors, you can see. So it keeps repeating, going to a loop. No such file directory. Tweets, new tweet file. So this file doesn't exist. That's an hallucination. The LLM has been just creating a file that doesn't exist. So it's going to be just going through this error. until now it gets the right file and the workflow has restarted. So if we refresh the output, we should get something now. So that's why long fuse is very helpful, to see what's going on at the back. Because it could have stopped for another reason, and we'll be just waiting on the front-end side, just waiting for messages to come. So here is taking some time because, as you've seen in long fuse, there's a lot of messages has been loaded. Agent work done, true. That's good. So we'll be able to close this pop-up. Normally there will be a button showing that the pop-up can be closed. Let's go down here. Keep scrolling. You see there was so much output. You can use the YouTube function to slow the video speed if you want to see it. We close it. So the close button shows only when the agent work is done. It's going to be initializing some states. We have this awful A tag. We validate into the link. We get the authorization pin. We authorize the tweet to go into our account. Okay, we get this validation is green. Tweet has been posted. And it has fetched also our user. So we just get the link here with our user to X and we check. So you'll be coming in Twitter and following also. Like and subscribe this video and comment Twitter and follow. So this is the tweet which has been generated. I always put Creditizens and an app at the end. And yeah, this is for the tweet agent. And in the other side we have the agent to make a report. So same here, you see we're using LLMs, which are not the most clever LLMs in the world. This is just the free LLMs, which are 7 billion parameters LLMs. So you won't get the best report in the world. But I just want you to understand what is behind. And if you want to pay and use Claude or OpenAI, I mean Anthropic or OpenAI, at this time you'll be able to do something more serious, and you can use the same kind of ID for that. I heard that say Pythagoras was Greek. I'll just put this as a subject. We are using his theorem today, but I wonder if he is really the one behind this. Since the lie about Christopher Columbus, who didn't really discover America, but the Vikings, or the, I don't know if it is the right spelling, Phoenicians, or Africans, or even Asians, passing through the Bering Strait, who passed through the Bering. I wonder if Pythagoras, I don't know how to write it, but he's gonna understand. He's really behind those theorems. I believe he stole it from Africa. Let's check that. So you make a crazy claim like that, which is true, and after you check what is going to be said. So here we got an answer. This answer is going to be the base context for the LLM to make the report LLMs to make internet search, and also to build that little report in Markdown format. As for the Viking, Phoenicians, Africans, and Asians discovering America, it's important to note that concept of America as a separate continent wasn't widely recognized until the 16th century. It's the idea of discovering a new continent. Okay, so we start the agent. You see the web UI has changed on the left side. We don't have any more the other buttons showing or active. We can go into the long fuse. We're going to follow the traces. That's the chat. Show pop-up. Start report agent. And here we get some output from the agent team job, so we can refresh. So the state, which is going to be evolving, it's like that. So if you wait too long, you see it becomes huge. That's huge one. We got the first output. Okay, we start getting some information from internet. The agent sort. So it seems like here we got a report written, but so here agent messages sanitized. Okay, so we reached the 10,000 characters. And I just improved it a bit with a message telling us that we need to wait a few seconds. Okay. We refresh. And here I'm just checking the log files at the same time. Okay. We should be able to get an output. So I don't see any errors telling us that it doesn't work anymore. On the agent side, we got here the output tool. So the file, the report should be written into that file. After, we're gonna scroll down. Observation, the results of the action. Once all necessary information are gathered, reading the file, because we have another agent checking on that file to see if it is a file having a proper content or a file having some error messages in it. See, reading here. Complete the action, and after here is going to check the file output. It says OK. So OK means that we have our 210 characters and not more. Now we got some more output, so we might need to refresh this page. Okay, so we got some output coming. Agent work done through. So we might now see this button down there to close this pop-up. And when it's gonna be closed, there's a lot of things happening and changing the web UI, changing the states. I made it very simple. You see the web UI on the left side has changed. We can initiate the download. And here we got the file. We just press on it and we download it. That's some other attempts that I did before. And here is the little report about it. So it depends on your prompting and also the kind of LLM you're using. So don't expect too much from those small LLMs. My advice would be also to break down the tasks into mini tasks so that they can perform it. So you need to multiply the number of agents. And when you're working with paid agents, like Claude or ChatGPT, at this moment you can be expecting more from those. And here we got some links. So I need to check this report. Just gonna navigate the files from the web browser just to check those links, because we are not sure that we got the right links. But maybe with bigger LLMs you would get amazing references. So here we got the answer. And I just want to check the link. For the report, I'll just let you pause the video and read it. That's not what the video is about. It's just to show those different workflow and how you can use Mesop to have a web UI and make your agent work for you and get everything output in the web UI and not in a terminal. Me, I like to use terminal, but you can use now an easy way to show it to your clients. Okay, so all those links are fake links, you see, so we don't get the best link ever. So in your iteration here, you would be just improving your prompt or adding an agent to check those links. So using agents and free LLMs, I realized also that you need to break down the tasks to have more agents running, and also you need to use the sequential process for the moment, because in CrewAI, for example, you can't manage the actions of the manager. So just imagine if you had to pay for those LLM API calls, you can't have full control on how much you want to spend if the manager can just is not controlled. So I will try to use another framework or the same long chain, but have more custom agents. So not using CrewAI to have more control on those. I will check that for the next coming videos, and there might be also some DevOps videos. Okay, I hope that you like this video. I'm going to stop here. Please like and subscribe as usual, and see you next time.